My father was an old seafarer, also as a deckhand. So that influenced me to be a deckhand. Yeah.
My dad made me want to become a deck hand, or like just work on deck, become an officer.
Yeah.
Because he's a chief electrician who works in offshore on an ROV vessel.
Oh yeah.
So when he's like in port in Bergen, so we can just drive from home and go visit him. He's been giving tours like in the engine room and on bridge, and it looks really cool. And I was like, I want to do that.
I didn't want to become a musician because my parents are musicians.
So I started out, I had a choice to work on deck or work in the engine room. Engineers deal with poop, so I decided to go on deck.
Actually, I have a lot of influencers in my life, but the one that my favorite one is Nelson Mandela, because of what he has done for Africa, and he has gave us like a picture of the Bible, another picture of the Bible. This man really acted like Jesus did, so that's why he's the greatest.
In my life, I would say my mom, my late mom. Yeah, mostly she was like a noble woman. She loved us, my family, my junior brother, my sisters, and my dad too. Yeah. That one of the influence in my life. That's my mom. Yeah.
My parents.
My favorite movie of all time is Titanic, probably, because the film is about the social classification, the injustice, as well as there's a romance in there, and actually it was like the first movies that I watched which was about ships and which made me really interested in ships and in sailing, so yeah.
Oh, my favourite movie would have to be The Elephant Man. I love that film. What always makes me cry is it's just such a beautiful story, and I think it's so well told. I love I like David Lynch's films anyway, so but I really like that one especially.
We came here a few years ago with our son Matthew when I'd retired, so I was 60, and it was a time of a family's life where we're really letting go of our children, and it's a big sort of adventure. So my wife and I fled the nest rather than our children fleeing the nest, and in many ways that has freed us up and it's freed our children up, and we are so blessed that our children still want to be with us, and they think that what we're doing is cool. They like telling their friends about it, and somehow that I allow that to speak for itself. Just coming here at the end of our careers, people think it's cool, including our kids, and that makes me happy.
Interesting. I can tell you. I think there's this natural narrative when you're back home and you work with Westerners. It's we just have one perspective: money. You're making a lot of money. So a lot of times I get messages from families, from friends. Hey man, you need to start investing. You need to buy a piece of land. You need to start building a house and all this stuff. So one thing that is not common with us is what we call a volunteer. It's not really common. So a lot of people think I'm making thousands of dollars here. That's just what it is.
Frankly, when I was coming on board, I nearly stopped coming because as a volunteer, but back home, as a young guy growing up, when they heard that you are working on a ship, they think you are making money. But never do that. I'm doing a volunteer work. So I told my younger brother that I'm coming to Mercy Ship for experience, so that I can continue my seafaring career. They were surprised, like buying my own flight ticket to join the ship. I have to raise funds for my crew fees. They were surprised that I'm going to do that. I'm saying, okay, no, I'm going there because of experience.
Well, they've been very supportive. Like, when I was younger, there was a show about a family, a Norwegian family on board. And they were like, oh, you're going to that ship? And I was like, yeah, I am. I'm going to Africa. And they were like, oh, that's so cool. And you get to have your caddy ship, and it's for a good cause and everything. So they're very supportive. Yeah.
I, believe it or not, like to go into chaplaincy. I find that to be really interesting, and I find it to be a very peaceful setting. Probably, I'm sure it's not always peaceful, but I find it to be somewhat tranquil. Spirituality is focused, and it is a big part of mercy ships. And yeah, so if I ever came back, I don't think they'd ever bring me because I'm probably more useful to them as a captain maybe, but if I ever had a choice, I would come back as captain.
I have a feeling they're going to get you back however they can, so I wouldn't worry. You just name your job at this stage.
It will be in chaplaincy. Yeah, it sounds like strange because I'm working in deck, but it's, for me, the chaplains are the heart of the mission, because God is at the center of everything. And when you speak about chaplains, you see God. That's why those guys are really connected with God. And I feel like they really support people, and I like to support people.
I first read the book before I came out, I read Ships of Mercy, and I just thought it was amazing. So when it first came out, I came out as an AB because they said they didn't need any third mates. So I really felt I had to be here and had to do something. So it's when I was studying my course at the college, it was a lot of hard work, and I was wondering what is it really going to be for. And then when I finally got the chance to do something like this, it all made sense. You know, why God had kind of led me on this path in my life, and then why I came here. It's been such a gift to have a chance to do something that will actually help people directly. And I can't think of many other instances in my career where I've been able to do that. And I think that's why it's such a gift to be here.
I think starting with housekeeping was a very good thing. Housekeeping developed me a lot when it comes to patience and humility. You have to get a lot of patience to organize people. I never knew that our organization is really tough to organize people, arrange stuff, and all. You know, it's really difficult. You need a lot of patience to. I'm not saying my guys are stubborn, but you need patience to deal with them a lot of time.
One piece of advice. Well, I'm 63, so there's lots of younger self to consider here. But the one big thing is only do what motivates you. Get a job that really motivates you, that energizes you. If you find you end up in some position that is hard work, it's difficult all the time, you're probably doing the wrong thing. Do something that motivates you and energizes you.
If I go back to the past, we all have done mistakes, and one of the advice that I would give myself or anyone younger than me is to stick with God, to put God first in everything that they do, and to give God more times, because God is the one who actually provide everything for us. We can have friends, but in every relationship, friendship or whatever, if God is not in that midst, nothing will work. So that's why I will give my younger self or anyone younger than me the advice to invest themselves in Christ. Yeah.
This is good.